Humanity's story starts with a mystery. Our species has existed in its current form for over 300,000 years. In that time, we've created vast civilizations, launched into space, and unlocked the secrets of the atom. But despite all our achievements, there's still so much about our past that we don't understand. We know about major historical events through books, artifacts, and fossils. But what was everyday life like for our earliest ancestors? What did they look like? What did they eat? What were their societies like? These questions have intrigued humans for centuries, but today scientists have found a way to go back in time and find the answers hidden in plain sight. It's an exciting new chapter in our understanding of history. So what are they discovering, and what does it tell us about ourselves? Join us as we explore the cutting-edge science that's helping us to finally understand our earliest ancestors. Through this incredible journey into the past, we'll learn how these ancient humans lived, loved, and survived, and we'll discover what their DNA can teach us about ourselves. The cradle of humankind. To understand where we're going, we first need to go back to the beginning. Over millions of years, our hominin ancestors evolved in Africa. This is widely accepted as the cradle of humanity. But until recently, we knew very little about the daily lives of these early humans. Most of what we've learned has come from studying fossils and artifacts. But these sources only provide a limited view of the past. They tell us about major events or changes in the environment or significant physical developments in our species. But they can't tell us about the day-to-day experiences of our ancestors. However, we may have finally found a way to do just that. Scientists have discovered how to extract and analyze ancient DNA from bones and other remains of our earliest ancestors. This breakthrough has opened up a whole new way of understanding our past. Now, instead of relying on physical evidence, we can literally read the genetic code of our ancestors to learn about their lives. This is an incredibly exciting development because it gives us direct access to the most important source of information about the past, the people who lived it. Ancient DNA, a window into the past. DNA, or deoxyribonucleic acid, is the molecule that carries the genetic instructions for all living things. Every person on Earth has a unique DNA sequence except identical twins. This sequence contains the instructions for building and maintaining an organism, and it can be passed down from one generation to the next. Scientists can use these sequences to compare different organisms and reconstruct their evolutionary relationships. They can also use them to learn about the history of populations, such as the size of a population or the rate of its growth, as well as the genetic diversity within a population and the effects of natural selection. But DNA is fragile and it breaks down quickly after death. For this reason, extracting and analyzing ancient DNA is a relatively new field of study. The first ancient DNA was extracted from a preserved Egyptian mummy in the 1980s, but it wasn't until the early 2000s that scientists began to be able to extract DNA from much older samples. Since then, the field has advanced rapidly. In 2010, scientists in Europe published the first complete genome sequence of a Neanderthal, an extinct species of archaic human. And in 2022, scientists announced the first complete genome sequence of a modern human from 1 million years ago. These are incredible achievements, and they're helping us to unlock the secrets of our past like never before. By studying ancient DNA, we can learn about the genetic makeup of our ancestors and how that changed over time. We can also learn about the populations that they lived among, such as Neanderthals and Denisovans, and how those populations interacted with each other. Who are the first humans? With this amazing new technology, scientists are able to go back in time and meet our earliest ancestors face to face. They're learning what they looked like, what they ate, and how they lived. They're also learning about the populations that they lived among, such as the Neanderthals and Denisovans, and how those populations interacted with each other. One of the most exciting discoveries made through ancient DNA is the discovery of new species of archaic humans. Until the early 2000s, scientists believed that Homo sapiens were the only surviving species of the genus Homo. However, the discovery of Neanderthal and Denisovan DNA has shown that this is not the case. In fact, there were at least 3 species of archaic humans alive at the same time Homo sapiens emerged in Africa around 300,000 years ago. Neanderthals lived in Europe and Asia, and Denisovans lived in Asia. All 3 species are thought to have coexisted for tens of thousands of years. Another exciting discovery made through ancient DNA is the discovery of interbreeding between different species of archaic humans. Scientists have found that Neanderthals and Denisovans interbred with Homo sapiens. This means that some people today have Neanderthal or Denisovan DNA in their genomes. The amount of Neanderthal DNA in a person's genome varies depending on their ancestry. People of European and Asian descent typically have between 1 and 4% Neanderthal DNA, while people of African descent typically have less than 1%. People of Melanesian descent have the highest percentage of Denisovan DNA, around 6%. These findings suggest that interbreeding was more common than previously thought. It also suggests that the different species of archaic humans were more closely related than previously thought. The discovery of interbreeding has raised many questions about the nature of our species. If Homo sapiens interbred with other species of archaic humans, what makes us unique? What is it that defines us as humans? These are difficult questions that scientists are still trying to answer. What did they eat? Another area where ancient DNA is providing insights is in our diet. By studying the DNA of our ancestors, scientists are learning what they ate and how that changed over time. This information is helping us to understand the evolution of human agriculture and the impact that agriculture had on our species. One of the most exciting discoveries in this area is the discovery of the oldest known piece of chewed gum. The gum, which is 9,000 years old, was found in a cave in Israel. Scientists were able to extract DNA from the gum and use it to identify the plant that the gum was made from. The plant is still used today to make chewing gum. This discovery suggests that humans have been chewing gum for at least 9,000 years. Another exciting discovery is the discovery of the world's oldest winery. The winery, which is 6,000 years old, was found in Georgia. Scientists were able to extract DNA from the residue in the jars and use it to identify the type of grape that was fermented in the jars. This discovery suggests that humans have been making wine for at least 6,000 years. The impact of ancient DNA on our understanding of history. The ability to extract and analyze ancient DNA has revolutionized our understanding of history. It's given us unprecedented insight into the lives of our ancestors and the populations they lived among. This knowledge is helping us to answer some of the most fundamental questions about our past. For example, we now know that humans first emerged in Africa around 300,000 years ago. We also know that there were at least 3 species of archaic humans alive at the same time: Homo sapiens, Neanderthals, and Denisovans. We also know that these species interbred and that some people today have Neanderthal and Denisovan DNA in their genomes. Finally, we're learning about the diets of our ancestors and how their diets changed over time. This is just the beginning. As technology improves, we'll be able to extract and analyze even older samples of ancient DNA. This will give us an even deeper understanding of our past and help us to answer some of the most fundamental questions about our origins. As we continue to explore the secrets of our ancient DNA, we're sure to make even more exciting discoveries. Who knows what other secrets our ancestors' genes are hiding? What other insights can they offer into our past? Only time will tell. But one thing is for sure, the future of genetics is bright. What do you think? What other questions about our past would you like to see answered through the study of ancient DNA? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.